Hello everyone. Thank you for coming to our poster presentation about this new textbook for teaching instructional design that we've called Design for Learning: Principles, Processes, and Praxis. With Jason McDonald, I am really excited about the launch of this book. I'm so excited. It's been one of the most exciting projects I've been able to work on in my academic career. And I believe that this book will be transformational in many ways. I believe the content that the authors of the chapters have created is very good and very fresh, very new way of thinking about instructional design. And I also think the platform that it's being presented in is going to provide many affordances that'll make it easier for teachers and students in our field. So what I'd like to do is briefly show a few of the features that I find to be very exciting. This book is one of the many books offered on edtechbooks.org, which is a book authoring platform created by Royce Kimmons at Brigham Young University. And it's designed to be not only a place where people can author books, but also a library where we can find and access free and open textbooks for our field. I'm logged in right now, and you can see, so these are some of the books that I've worked on, but you can also explore and be able to search for books based on authors, based on institutions, based on keywords, or you can search for books that, for example, have been rated high quality based on student ratings, because every chapter in every book gets rated by students. So you can search for books that have been rated highly. You can also search for books that have been peer reviewed or that are trending or that have been authored by people that we know we have some confidence in as far as the authorship there. So pretty exciting way to look for books. Once you go and find your book, this is the first chapter of our book. There are some other features that allow you to benefit from reading this book online. You can go up here and download the books, and you can download chapters. You can download the whole book as a PDF or download every chapter individually as a PDF, either as a printable PDF or as a mobile PDF. You can also get QR codes for easy sharing of each chapter. If you want to just give students a QR code to a particular chapter, or you can of course share out on social media if you like a particular chapter or are using it, or you want to cite it in a tweet that you want to make a reference to, you can do that as well. You can also get a simple version of every single chapter, which will look like this, and this is a nice version that is good for embedding into your LMS without some of the other extraneous borders and information. The other thing I like is that you can have hypothesis integration. Hypothesis is a social annotation tool that you can sign up for free. And once you're logged in, then you can highlight things and annotate and either share this to the public, to yourself, or you can create groups or tags and share it, for example, within a class. So I often will have groups within my class that will annotate the chapter freshly each semester and annotate it for each other about the things that they find most interesting about the chapter. And they give each other help, they define words for each other, they find additional resources and make connections. And it's a way for them to get deeper into the reading of each chapter. So you can also find, one of the other things I liked about this book, I should say, is that we've got a lot of additional supplementary materials for the students and the teachers. So for example, videos, you can see just some of them here, call out boxes, additional readings to additional practical tools, as you can see here, things to read or tools to help you do things like task analysis or content analysis, practice exercises. So we have lots of these call out boxes and practical applications throughout the textbook. The other thing that we have is analytics that if you're a teacher and you adopt this, or if you're an author, that you'll be able to have access to, where, like I said, there will be ratings on every chapter, page views, so that if you're authoring one of these chapters and you want to be able to use this information for tenure and promotion, you can be able to put into your dossier, how many downloads have been of your chapter, how many views. There's information for you as well about maybe the reading level of your book, or how much time people are spending on your chapter, so that maybe you can improve your chapter if you need to. And also the money that we estimate has been saved by making this book freely available. This is just based on the number of downloads, and the average cost per download that this would be if you had to pay copyright permissions for this. So there's analytics. There's analytics on the whole book. This book hasn't even been fully launched yet. We're only in beta, and we've estimated that we've already had 20,000 views, 2,000 downloads, and $55,000 in savings for the students that are already using this book in beta format. So we're very excited about that. The other thing I want to mention about this book that I'm really excited about is we tried to not only get high quality academic authors to write chapters, but also experienced practitioners who have skills in the field but maybe aren't working as professors, but are skilled practitioners and have craft and a keen sense of their craft as instructional designers. And we've asked many of them to write chapters as well. I'm going to highlight just a few of them that I find to be kind of exciting. One is this one by Trudy Christensen. This was a chapter that was actually published originally in Performance Improvement Quarterly, and we got permission to republish this chapter. And it's an excellent summary of how you can use the three basic theories of behaviorism, cognitivism, and constructivism, and when you might apply each one as an instructional designer, for what kinds of instructional problems you might use those learning theories for. And I have always found this article to be very practical and very helpful, written definitely from a practitioner perspective, and helpful, and my students have always found this helpful as well. So we're delighted to be able to have the permission to republish this chapter in our book. There are other chapters, for example, Bucky Dodd, who is at the University of Central Oklahoma, does an excellent job discussing backwards design and other types of curriculum design models that are useful for higher education as well as K-12. Marshall, and many of you know Marshall and Lisa Harris, had the kind of practical chapter that we were hoping for about how to do, in this case, digital audio. And they give very practical ideas about the technologies you should have and how to set up your studio so that you can get the best, highest quality audio in your instructional products. Justin, also from Shippensburg University, talking about visual and graphic elements. And once again, a very visual chapter. We've tried to encourage the authors to make these chapters as visual and multimedia rich as possible. Ashley Smith on leading project teams talks about the process of project management, and it's a very helpful chapter. I love this chapter from Colorado Community Colleges. They're a group of people building online courses for this college, and they have a delightful chapter about working with stakeholders and clients, and about very practical. I have my students in my evaluation class as well as in my instructional design class read this chapter because it talks about how to work with people, and that's such a critical tool that we want our people to learn, but oftentimes they don't pick up in traditional textbooks. And then this one, I'm an author on, but I'm not going to highlight myself. I'm going to highlight Jackie here, who was the first author here. And she drew on ideas from her work in museum design. So kind of a unique approach to instructional design. But she has a really strong chapter here that I helped her with on instructional design prototyping, where we outline different ideas and different strategies for doing prototyping, the different types of prototypes, ways of doing visual, creative brainstorming with your team. So there are lots of chapters. I could highlight every single chapter in this book. We're really excited about this book. But I think that is one, just in conclusion, one of the things I'm most excited about is the combination of theory and praxis, as we talk about in the subheading here, that we have articles and chapters from both practitioners as well as theoretical scholars and whizzes in our field. And we're grateful to all the authors who contributed and look forward to sharing the love. So hope you enjoy this book and that you adopt it. If so, I hope you'll let us know that you adopted it so that we can add your data into the analytics about how many people are adopting the book and how much money it's saving their students. Thank you.